Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of great millstone that rule well, and peace and salutations to the elect of Israel. To you I say Shalom. Lord willing, to lessons edifying to the flock of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9. I'm going to start at verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Right? So the end is manifest, meaning it's plain as day, man. It's clear as day that we are at the end times, man. We're at the last days, man. All right? Yeah, because the Lord speaks in signs and wonders, man. All right, verse 6. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. Right? And when you go into that word signs, it goes to omens, warnings, things of that nature. And the reason I'm bringing this out because in Brazil, there's a popular tourist attraction called Christ the Redeemer statue, right? And we got a Edomite with his arms spread out, and millions of people view it or visit it every year, man. Right? But news came out that it was struck by lightning. It says lightning strikes Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio de Janeiro. Right? And if you look, it hit it right upon his head, man. That's a sign. That's an omen, man. That's an omen, for, on multiple layers, man. Omen for these false idols getting struck down, right? Because the one true power is about to make his return, man. All right. Also, omen about Esau, Edom getting struck down too, man. All right. This is a sign of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. All right. These false idols, right? How come this idol wasn't able to protect itself? Because the scripture talks about how the Lord is the one that controls lightning, man. All right? You think lightning will ever dare strike the Lord, man? All right? Let me jump over to the book of Job, chapter 38. Job 38, straight to the point. Job 38 and 35. Can thou send lightnings that they may go and say unto thee, here we are? All right. I believe there's a scripture that talks about how, all men fear lightning and thunder, man. Because if lightning struck 10 feet away from you, if you were to say you were walking down the street and lightning struck 10 feet away from you, you're going to shit your pants, man. But damn, that was close. Because of the loud boom, the effect, and the sheer power of the energy inside of that lightning bolt, man. All right, but Job 38:35, can thou send lightnings that they may go and say unto thee, here we are? This is a rhetorical question, because Lord knows Job can't do this, man. All right, but the Lord is able to do this. This is what the Lord does, man. He's the one that controls lightning, man. So this false idol here, why is it getting struck by lightning? Because it has no power, man. It has absolutely no power. But people still go visit it every year, hop on a plane, fly for hours, spend thousands of dollars just to go visit the statue, man, because they feel like it has some sort of power. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't. All right? Let me jump over to the letter of Jeremiah, because this whole letter goes into idolatry, man. But I'm going to skip through it. I'm not going to read the whole thing. All right, Lord willing. I might jump, back and forth, up and down, too. Letter of Jeremiah, I'm going to start at verse 36. They can save no man from death, neither deliver the weak from the mighty. They cannot restore a blind man to his sight, nor help any man in his distress. Right? These idols have absolutely no power, man. Right? Actually, all idols are created. So how can anything created be a god, man? All right? They created by men at that. How can men create a god? It doesn't make sense. All right? Men create their own gods by serving false idols, man. But at the end of the day, these false idols are vanity because they can't do anything for you. Neither can they do anything for themselves, man. Verse 38, they can show no mercy to the widow, nor do good to the fatherless. They are gods of wood, which are overlaid with gold and silver, are like the stones that be hewn out of the mountain. They that worship them shall be confounded. All right, people that worship these idols, man, are confounded, man. They're bugged the fuck out, man. People worship false idols such as this Christ the Redeemer statue. People worship their money. People worship women. People worship fucking plants, like Christmas trees and stuff like that, man. People are bugged the fuck out. Everybody that worships idols are confounded, man. All right. Jump down to 48. For when there cometh any war or plague upon them, the priests consult with themselves, where they may be hid with them. How then cannot men perceive that they be no gods, which can neither save themselves from war nor from plague? Right? You know, when pestilence and war breaks out, men communicate with other men to see what to do about the situation. They don't communicate with these false idols, man. All right, because they understand subconsciously that they can't do anything for them. But then again, why are they worshiping them? Right? How then cannot men perceive that they be no gods, man? For seeing they be but of wood and overlaid with silver and gold, it shall be known hereafter they are false. All right, and it shall be made manifestly, and that's at Slakia, and it shall manifestly appear to all nations and kings that they are no gods, man. Again, that word manifest meaning basically meaning plain as day, man. All right, and it shall manifestly appear to all nations and kings that they are no gods, but the works of men's hands, and that there is no work of the Most High in them. Who then may not know that they are no gods? All right, people that are bugged out, people that are blind, man, people that the Lord blinded on purpose, that He doesn't want them to seek the true power, man. So He sets up these stumbling blocks, which are these false idols, and this is one of the biggest false idols on the planet Earth, man. Chezi, man, so-called Jesus, man, is one of the biggest false idols on the planet Earth, and it's really this false idol, this stumbling block is gonna lead billions to their destruction, man. All right, because they refuse to hearken unto the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, I remember I had a friend in the world. I told him that the Lord's name was in Jesus, but it was Yahweh Shai. He said that's too hard to stay. I'm sticking with Jesus. But thou sayest, man. All right, so when he gets destroyed, it's because he chose to follow the stumbling block. He couldn't perceive the words of wisdom, man. All right, I'm in the letter of Jeremiah. I'm jumping down to verse 68. I'll start at verse 65. Knowing therefore that they are no gods, fear them not. Right. You could do anything you want to this statue, man. You could do anything you want to this work made of men's hands, man. All right. You could spit on it, defile it, kick it. Put graffiti on it, and nothing will happen to you, man. All right. So fear them, fear it not, man. Knowing therefore that they are no gods, fear them not. For they can neither curse nor bless kings. They can't do anything bad for you, or to you. They can't do anything good to you either, man. Neither can they show signs in the heavens among the heathen, nor shine as the sun, nor give light as the moon. All right. No, what can they do, man? They literally just ornaments, man. They just stand there. All right. The beasts are better than they, for they can get under a cover and help themselves. Right. This statue is called Christ the Redeemer. Why didn't it redeem itself from the lightning, man? Right? Animals are better than this because they could go in for a covering, right? It's like when birds feel the weather changing, they fly south when when the winter comes, right? You know, or animals that get under a cover when danger comes, man, or they camouflage themselves when danger comes. This thing couldn't do nothing, man. It sat there because it can't redeem itself, man. But it's called Christ the Redeemer. All right, verse 68 again. The beasts are better than they, for they can get under a cover and help themselves. It is then by no means manifest unto us that they are gods. Therefore, fear them not, man. All right. There's no point of fearing these things, man. All right. There's no point of showing any type of respect towards these things too, man. When we see these things and these things come into our possession, when I say these things, I'm talking about these idols, man. Anything that's turned into a god and made to worship, right? We're really supposed to destroy them, all right? Break them, burn them with fire, all right? This way, nobody else could come across it and start worshiping it, in folly, man. I'm gonna jump to Wisdom of Solomon. That's at 1,000. Slock. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13. I'm gonna start from the top and close out with this. Wisdom of Solomon 13, starting at verse 1. Surely vain are all men by nature, who are ignorant of the Most High, and could not out of the good things that are seen know him that is. Neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster, but deemed either fire or wind, or the swift air, or the circle of the stars, or the violent water, or the lights of heaven, to be the gods which govern the world. Right? These are people that, instead of looking at creation and understanding that it's the higher power that set all this in order, man, and the Most High is the grand architect of everything, they look at the creation to start worshiping them. They start worshiping fire and wind, the lights of heaven, all right? And they think that those are the gods that govern the world, man. All right? Verse 3, with whose beauty, if they being delighted took them to be gods, let them know how much better the Lord of them is, for the first author of beauty hath created them. All right? And there's a lot of beautiful things in creation, man. But how much more the Lord, man? He's the author of beauty, man. All right. But people will take that vain beauty and start worshiping that, man, instead of worshiping the Creator. All right. Verse 4. But if they were astonished at the power and virtue, let them understand by them how much mightier He is that made them. Right. It's like they talk about how lightning bolts have millions and millions of volts of electricity in them, right? You understand, but that's true power. That's a true source of energy, man. But how much more powerful is the one that created lightning, man? You see, Category 5 hurricanes wipe out whole cities, man. But how much more powerful is the Lord that created that hurricane, man? Tornadoes flipping houses literally upside down, man. How much more powerful is the Lord that created them, man? Instead of worshiping the mighty wind, instead of worshiping lightning bolts, instead of worshiping fierce beasts, right? You got to worship the Creator, man. Verse 5, for by the greatness and beauty of the creatures proportionably the maker of them is seen, right? Verse 6, but yet for this they are less to be blamed, for they peradventure err, seeking the Most High and desires to find Him, right? They are less to be blamed because of their zeal. They're seeking to serve some sort of power, man, and they're desiring to find the Most High, man. All right, they are less to be blamed. All right, verse 7, for being conversant in His works, they search Him diligently and believe their sight, because the things are beautiful that are seen. Yeah, they believe what they see, but we walk by faith and not by sight. We understand that these things were created by the Creator, man. All right, we don't just go off of what we see, man. We walk through the Spirit. All right, verse 8. Howbeit, neither are they to be pardoned. Yeah, just because they're less to be blamed doesn't mean that they're gonna get off scot free, man. All right, because it's still practicing idolatry, man. For if they were able to know so much that they could aim at the world, how did they not sooner find out the Lord thereof? All right, if you could see the creations, you gotta go understand. It's like, damn, there has to be a creator. Somebody had to have created all this, man. You can't worship fierce wind, right? You can't worship rain and say this is the creation, man, because rain didn't create fire, right? Because everything that's created has an opposite. creation too, man. Right? Water, fire. You got predators and prey, but you can't pick one and worship it when there's other um, protagonists against it, man. All right? Every creation has basically a rival, right? I'm gonna get that in Sirach. I'm gonna close out, Lord willing. I want to say that's Sirach 41, maybe 44. Nah, it's not 41. Salakia. Oh, 33, way off. Sirach 33 and 15. So look, I'll start 14. Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two and two, one against another. Right, one against another. Every creation basically has a rival, man. Right. So you can't. If you worship one, why not worship the other? This is why people that worship idols are confounded at the end of the day. But I'm gonna wrap it up with that. Lord, when this lesson was edifying, again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakwakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone that rule well, and peace and salutations to the elect of Israel. Until next time, I'll say Shalom and Abad Babal.